Hello, everyone. We're live, and my name is Alex. I'm a technical host for today, mostly technical, and I think it's the only 1 minute when you will see me for some time. I'm very excited for today because we will have great conversation about AI translation for your business. We will talk about API, about integrations, about AI translation at all. Of course, we will talk about $300 to test your API, of course, and surprisingly, we will uh, promo and tease our new feature for the first time today here in this webinar. But first of all, let's do some technical stuff. This webinar will run for 1 hour, and you can ask any questions you want in the chat. I see all of them. Um, just to prove it, I will do something like that. Hello, hello, and this question will be also available. This video, yes, of course. After the webinar, you will receive an email with the video with the link to this recording, so you will watch it again, or maybe you could share it with your colleagues or friends. It's not a problem at all. So, as I said, 1 hour, 3 different speakers, and a recording of this webinar afterwards. Are you really ready to dive in? I think, what about $300 that we are promised in announcement? I think in our company there is only one person who can talk about money all over the day without any rest. So I want invite to this stage. It's our head of partnership.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate to be called a money person. Yeah. Yes, guys, it's absolutely true that we promised you that we will have a sort of a bonus for those who is really interested in our API and our system and our wonderful platform. And of course, we also have a scheme how to get this. I will probably dwell upon this a bit later, but how it is normally done. So if you're interested to get some additional, let's say, free credits of testing, you will have to use this very QR code that you are looking at right now on the screen. And this is a QR code to meet with me and my team. So basically, if you mention that you came to us through the webinar, and we will know that you would like to claim this very bonus, now we will talk to you about that, how to get it precisely. Normally, the procedure is like that we grant this additional bonus to the plans starting from business and enterprise, but still taking into consideration the amount and taking into consideration our plans, this almost makes the trial of the API almost free of charge, especially if you go with business. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you. If you are still hesitating, you never tried us, you are still in two minds, I believe that should be only one answer. Of course, you want this and you need to schedule a call with us, and we will help you. We will tell you about the product. We will tell you about the platform and the API, what is the difference, what are the expectations, timelines, and so on and so forth. So you have a couple of minutes to screenshot it now. So many people today, right? Yeah. And we hope that it will be even more people with time, because we are getting more information to you that is about the API, the recent updates that we do. So I believe this is it from my part. I can see it from the Alex side that he right now will introduce our second speaker, Olga, to the stage.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, indeed. Olga is our API support lead, and she will do all this webinar magic with you today. So I will mute myself right now.
All right. Thank you guys for this great introduction. And I promise you, you're going to see Alex and Anastasia again in a bit. So my name is Olga. I'm the Rask's API support lead. I first of all want to say thank you for taking the time to join our webinar session today. I already saw the question, and please don't worry if you can only visit and spend the part of the session with us today. That's totally all right. And Alex will send you the recording after we are finished. But I want to say that we came to really love the atmosphere we have here on these events. We love the enthusiasm and all the questions and the energy you are bringing to this. So being here is not absolutely necessary, but it gives us the chance to get to know you a little bit, gives you a chance to spend this time with us live, ask questions, make jokes. So, um, thank you. Wow, we got the Brazil today. I think we last time had Canada. Um, at least that's the country calling that we are doing here. We got Brazil here today. That is wonderful. I also saw Adam here with us. I think Adam was with us on our very first webinar on the API we were hosting, and it is really cool to see you back with us again. So you saw Alex. I think he really underplays his role here. He is much more than the technical organizer, and you will see that in a little bit. And Anastasia is also bringing her very unique, like very warm and positive energy to this event. And you'll get to see her one more time. But let's dive in. We have a lot to cover today. And I guess we are about to start. Before we go into what the API is, and if the application programming interface really doesn't give you yet a clue what's that about, what does it mean, what it can do, I promise you that by the end of an hour it will all become much more clearer. But before we'll talk about the what and hows and whys, let's take a step back and remember and talk about how the traditional localization process works. Now, even if you have not had the chance to use it in your workflow, we will have some idea about all the steps that you need to go to get your content translated into another language. And of course, this was and still is a widely used solution, mainly for it is very, very great quality because everything is human reviewed and human processed. It heavily relies on the human expertise, which is why you get a real high quality result with the great emotional range, with the cultural adaptation, if you go that way, and a very great accuracy because you're using the real voice actors. And we all know those guys do a pretty great job. But there are also downsides to this process that we have to consider because now we have more than one option. That is why we're here. But from the traditional dubbing process, localization point of view, this whole setup was really time consuming because you see there are multiple stages. So requires you to bring out the organizational project management genius, get everyone together, do a lot of manual selections, reviews. Those are very, very high costs involved. And if you need this to be done in more than one language, the workload multiplies every time, because there is a high chance you would need to use different agencies for different languages. I mean, that is okay when we're talking about the human expertise, but when a company needs to make the decision, we of course need to consider not only the quality we are receiving, but also the costs, the time, resources, and other resources that we can afford to spend on it. And with the development of an AI technology, more and more solutions came to market, letting more companies to take advantage of the localization process that they simply could not afford to do before. There are many great solutions. We here basically brought all the stages of this pipeline together. So everything we had before in a traditional localizational process spread over several locations. Most often you can now do at a one place. So Rask AI platform is a one-stop shop for that's basically taking you from inputting your content in the original language. And then all the stages are happening inside, and as the output, you receive your dubbed version. And the great news is that it is not only for one or several language. Like, we support over 135 target languages, so it is really a one-stop shop. You don't need multiple tools depending on the language. You can now do it all in the same place. It's really fast. I think I saw the question about if we do a translation in real time. This is not the real-time technology, technically speaking. It requires little different approach and solution, but depending on the size of your video, we can fit into the near real time time period. So having the AI solutions and Rask AI solution as well really cut down the costs, because you no longer need to involve as many people on the way as before. It can really be handled by one person, but you can bring more people into. We'll talk about it just in a bit. So it is really fast, the cost efficient, and it can be a different level of quality than what you would get with having the traditional dubbing that of course uses the human expertise, but it gets better day by day, and you would often see that the difference in quality of AI dubbing and of the traditional localization agencies may not be as big as you'd expected, but you get results, amazing results, really fast. And I would not be afraid of that word, really cheap compared to what we have used to pay. Now, the traditional solutions is still very much in the game, especially when we're talking about the cinema, where this quality gap is really noticeable. But in many, many cases, having the AI-powered solution gives you a very great advantage, and we will also cover that. So one constraint that we have covered already is cultural and emotional nuances that may not be caught as well by AI. And this is where you can bring, let's say, the cultural reviewer or a professional translator not to translate the text, because this is what AI has already done for you. It automatically transcribed the speech, translated it to one or several languages you've selected, generated voiceover. And the thing that traditional dubbing may not do yet is that your voiceover can be using the same speaker characteristics from your original file, thanks to the great voice cloning technology. And you can do the lip syncing. So if before you may even have to reshoot your video with a different person, so that the lip movements would not be not in sync with the speech itself. Right now, you don't need to go there. You can keep your speaker, you can keep his voice, just get the same content in a new language. And you can bring in the editors to fine tune the, from the cultural point of view, and maybe get your translation quality even higher. It is possible and easily done with our platform's editor. And another, I see a question, Adam. You are getting ahead of us, so I'm not gonna spoil, because we have great news, and we'll share that with you in just a minute. But so before we were talking about the traditional dubbing flow, that one was really complex and therefore harder to manage. So when we start talking about having multiple media files that needs to be translated, and let's say several languages, it really quickly gets out of hand. But with the Rask AI platform, it is now much, much easier, because everything is in the same place and you can easily manage it. But what if we are talking about 1,000 video files, and project creation still relies on some manual repetitive action. So if you need 1,000 files to be translated, you need to create 1,000 projects just to get those files getting dubbed in one language. So once we start talking about 2, 3, 4, things escalate quite quickly. And this is one of the challenges that the traditional web platform cannot solve, because it is slightly limited, by the graphic interface we have to use to make this very user-friendly process. The other challenge is, if you think about it, and let's say you love the pipeline that we built, you love our AI-powered solution, and you need to do the same, but inside your product. Maybe you need to give your users the opportunity to translate their content. And I think you can agree with me that jumping between the different accounts and platforms is not what we want to do, not what we want to ask our users to do. You want to give them a very competitive solution where they don't need to think about anything else, but you don't really want to spend all this time. You don't want to get into the AI dubbing technology and deal with all this AI models and the data selection, all of that. You just want what Rask has done, but working inside your product platform. Or maybe you need to customize it a bit, and so on. So we have challenges here with the scalability and integration that the platform as is just cannot support. And this is where the API comes to the stage. And the API, so we talked about these three magic words before, and now it's time to come back to them again. So it's an application programming interface, whereas our usual web platform, all the web browser pages, the tools that you're using in your browsers, the graphic user's interface. So there we interact with the functionality by just clicking beautiful graphic buttons that somebody draw for us. Whereas this is the way that you can get, interact with the same functionality by programming. So by doing some coding, and this is what your development team can allow. So what does it mean for you that this is a tool that you can take and connect your platform basically with the Rask functionality? So same process that you can build inside your platform where you send the video in and get the translated video out. And there are a lot of cool features that you can also use on the way. Now, why choose Rask API? The answers, there are a lot of different answers here, and I'll I see there are a lot of people having magical powers. I'm seeing, questions in chat, and we have a lot of plans for today, and just about every step of that plan got asked about. So I think we really are in sync with you right now, and we are doing something right. I promise you it's gonna get a lot more interesting. I know a lot of you are our existing users, and I'm just getting those new viewers up to speed with us, and we're gonna pick up real soon. So best AI-powered translation, dubbing, multi-speaker recognition, voice cloning, and lip syncing, as we have discussed. We support a wide range of file formats, so you don't really have to think about converting it. We do accept most popular and most used file formats. We have really flexible pricing options, which with prices decreasing per minute, with your volumes going up. We've got a really transparent and customizable flow now in Rask API. It was the first ever dubbing API. We have since then thought about what we did and released a second version of it, which has now great infrastructure. It is real easy to work with, and we have unlocked for us possibility to deliver new features at a high speed for you. We're gonna be looking at the timeline in just a couple minutes, and you'll see how many of them were already added since the release of the second version in August. So we have recently celebrated the first anniversary of the first version being released and now deprecated. And we are all now very excited about our new API. So just to reiterate here, what can Rask API do for you? Automate your flow entirely, taking the manual repetitive tasks out of it and leaving you to make only creative decisions and taking the load on creating, starting dubbing projects and exporting results for you automatically. Integration is now really easy. We use REST-based API, and that is one you can integrate in just a couple clicks, easily done in any programming languages that your platform is relying on, or frameworks. And you never even have to leave your product environment to get your dot version content. And of course, customization, a lot of things that were not available in the platform or were not as flexible in the platform can now be done just because the same features are available in the API, and you can build them together in any way you want, kind of like the Lego details. I know many of you love the use cases. These are some examples of them. So not limited to, of course, your fantasy can be unlimited here, but you can take the screenshot or we can share the presentation later with you, whichever your approach is, whether you want to, as we discussed, get your users an opportunity to produce their content in multiple languages to reach, multiple markets and interact with the consumers in those markets in their native language, because we all know that's really important. Fair for, social media platforms and of course, educational platforms, whether you need it to use for your internal corporate communication, whether you need to get to new markets or localize your piece of news or documentary really fast, the Rask API is your solution. And the steps are pretty simple, and I think we will not be pausing on it right now, because in just 10 probably minutes, we will go inside and see for ourselves how is it working and go through all the steps together. I think it's gonna be much more interesting, but you can always get back to this slide if you need, some kind of idea or direction, what to start from. Now, that was the simple process where you upload the video, everything is done automatically, and you receive the translated output. But what are the features that we are talking about here? Why are we saying that we have delivered a lot to the second version since it has seen the light of a day? Now, it does support variety of media upload methods. I know that many of you store your files on your file servers, and the direct access links to your files, of course, with the public access granted, are supported for media upload alongside with the YouTube, Google Drive. We are gonna announce one more source today, but there are spoilers on the slide, and the direct file upload, of course. If you already have your SRT files, transcription or even a proofread translation, that is something you can upload alongside to bring your quality to the next level. You can also download the automatically generated versions from the project via the API as well. Customize the details. The more you know about your media, the more information you can input, the better the results and more precise the results you are getting. We did add the opportunities to edit your content almost to the same level as you can. I simply love how our users are foreseeing everything we do. Veronica raises a very good question. This is the only one thing that API is currently behind compared to the platform. I know you can't wait anymore. I'm gonna let just this one sleep. So the voice selection is coming out literally on Monday via the API. So from Monday on, all the editing capabilities will be the same in the platform, in the API. So in the API, you can already add and delete segments, modify their timestamps, text, and change speakers assigned to them. And the voice selection is like very last thing we need to reach the parity of the opportunities our platform provides. Now, the very new, but since the last time we saw each other here, feature that we did add to the API is a translation dictionary. If you used our platform, maybe you already came to love and you know how useful it can be. Now you can create the glossary in the API as well. We have added support for all language pairs that we have. So even in the platform before, we had the limited list of the languages where the dictionaries were supported. It is now unlimited, meaning you can create custom translations for your words and phrases, no matter from which language and to which language you are translated. And of course, same as in the platform, a variety of media download options are available for you. Now, and it doesn't even stop there. So REST-based API mean you can very easy integrate it into your code. We added automatic translation length adjustments. So if you rely on our translation, it is very unlikely you're gonna run into another case where the voiceover sounds less natural because we have to speed it up to fit the timestamps. The length is now the same as the length of the original text. So takes that problem, gets it out. It's now, we think even about those things, and it's now done automatically for you. Currently, no rate limiting. You can send as many requests as you need at a time, process them simultaneously, no file size limits, and we do support media files up to 4 hours long. So again, I don't think you are likely to run into those limitations as well. Now, this is the part where I usually bring Anastasia to talk to us and take it from here. Welcome back to us. I was talking about how many features we were already able to deliver since August. And I'm sorry I did let out a little spoiler already, but Anastasia will take it from here and will tell you more about what's planned.
Yeah, thank you, Olga. And yes, Olga revealed a little bit of secret, but it's very hard to keep a secret when it's something that we are really excited about. So yeah, Alex explained around with our cameras a bit. Thank you, Alex. So what is coming right now? And on Monday next week, we are we're trying not to be super precise because we understand that releases, it's always a little bit of testing and we may shift a couple of days, but still we are on track here. So we are going to add lip sync generation to our API. It was highly requested. Lip sync is in our platform, as you know, if you tested it already. And we are still working to improve the quality. And in November, we're having one more internal release of the lip sync as well that will influence the quality of our technology, and this will be reflected in the API. So if you ever thought about having your files delivered through the API with the lip sync and it was something like a blocker for you, it's not anymore. You can use it. I believe that next week you can try. If you are interested, please again use the QR code, write me, my team, and we will help you with that, because I understand that it's always tricky. It depends on the content itself, it depends on the purpose of the content, and you need to try it with your own hands in your own product, and of course see how this results matches your expectations. Thank you, Alex, for showing the QR code. It's such a magic that somebody else is helping you with the presentation. Thank you so much. What else? Select speakers' voices. So before, everything was automated this way, that AI basically gave you the output with the voice clone that was recognized by the AI from the original video. And we all know that there is no technology that is 100% precise and ideal. And we understand that for different reasons, maybe it was mismatch in terms of the voice that was recognized. Maybe you would like to change it to some voice in the library due to some other purposes, because you would like to just change the speaker, or there are some questions about the rights or whatever. This is why we added this very highly requested feature. And I believe this will be a very good benefit for you as well. When you will be working with the API, you will have a full control over the video that you have, or the audio, and the output that you can actually generate. Can we have local option? Mohammed, I will probably ask you to add some more details to the question. So probably we will answer to this a bit later. And of course, it also was revealed during the previous slide that we are adding one more source. We are adding a wonderful Vimeo source to our API, because a lot of our users are keen to use Vimeo, where they store their videos, and they have platforms based on this very source. And right now, starting from the next week, of course, you are free to use our API for this source as well. We already have a couple of sources, as you know, like we also support direct links, we support Google Drive, but now you can have Vimeo as well. We will be able to choose either customer voice generation or one of the generic voices available. I believe yes, because Olga was the first to test this feature today. It's still in delivery mode, but yeah. And you know that it's like very important sometimes to have the ability to have either customized generated voice. I believe you refer to the voice library that we're having, and either to have the voice that was just voice cloned or AI generated. So yeah, and a couple more words about what's coming. It's on the 0.5 and more. Webhooks, SDK, and prompting. Prompting is probably one of the closest features that we would like to release this year. And it will also add you a lot of flexibility, both in the platform and the API. Like just a very simple example, if you would like to style your text somehow, or you would like to be very polite in European language, or just to be more informal, this could be really a tackle and a problem that a lot of our customers already have with all the AI tools all over the world. So we would like to add prompting just to help with this when you're working with the API. Olga, regarding the formats that will be returned from the API, will it be MP4? I believe it will be the format that you actually sent, right?
We are returning, so same as the platform, no matter the input, we are returning the output. If we are talking about the videos, it is MP4, Adam is correct. If we are talking audio, it is the WAV format. And I think while we are on the formats questions here, I think I saw the one from Eva about the format of the subtitle file. So we do return the SRT files right now, but what you can also get from the API is your transcripted and translated text. So basically all of the segments in the JSON format. So you can work with it as you prefer to, or export and make it into the VTD or SSC. Right now, if we are talking about the already complete file, it is the SRT format.
All right, so we will probably almost finish with this section. And one more thing that we would like to mention is the some update that we will have soon in our platform. And you asked about this in the very beginning of the webinar. It is called Team Space feature. Yeah, I believe my dog is also participating today in the webinar, so hope you're having you hear it as
We
well.
got 4 speakers, not
Yeah, we
just
have
3. You see, we have a special guest.
special guest. Sorry about that. But about this new feature, we will probably tell you a bit later on, but it will be live during the December.
But I think we have just very hot teaser. I believe that I'm the only one person who saw it. So let's take a look on this. I will do full screen.
Your team video dubbing workspace thoughtfully organized. Team Spaces bring structure to collaboration, letting you create dedicated environments for every team and project. Simple to set up, powerful in practice. Setup takes seconds. Access Team Spaces from your sidebar. Name your space. Select a visual identifier. Add your team. Each space becomes a focused environment for collaboration on video translation and dubbing, with shared projects automatically available to all members. Intuitive video collaboration control is now accessible from your sidebar. Manage member permissions. Access API endpoints. Switch between spaces seamlessly. Team Spaces. Designed for the way teams actually work together on localizing their video content. Coming soon. Stay tuned for updates.
Yep, I think it would be great.
I actually think Danielle was asking earlier in the comments when we will have. I know we promised it to you for quite some time now, and having the several people working together inside, and the opportunity to give them granular permissions and have different spaces. Now, before we move on to the next part, and I'll stop sharing the camera, let's take maybe a couple more minutes. I think we got almost all questions answered so far. I think there is a question about the pricing here right now. Let me share the link to our pricing plans here in the comments so that you can have the first idea. So the API is available with the business and enterprise plans, and we are really want you, if you are interested in our solution and you want to talk more, you want to talk pricing and different volumes we have, Alex is right now giving us the QR code to book the meeting with Anastasia, and maybe if you get lucky, her very cute dog, and to discuss what we can do, how we can set up the price and get $300 for free. That we were talking about. I think, okay, the last question at this point, probably, okay, couple. Danielle, for the new release date. Now, we are currently set to release the team space by the end of this year. So you saw the teaser already. So the technology is in the final stages of the development already, and we are still testing it, so we don't have a set date at the moment. But this year, for sure, it is very close. We can already feel it. Yes, different users under all same subscription, and if we are talking the enterprise, then the pricing can be different depending on how many team spaces would you need, but the enterprise plan has the customized flexible contract anyway. Let's go one more time. Alex, I think we still are getting questions about the $300. You want to jump back to us and okay, perfect. Yes, I think we might need Anastasia code one more time. The last one we are taking from here because we do still have a lot to show you, and we are very keen to keep this on time. So the last question, set up to work on the local network. Now, since all of this is currently powered by the AI, it requires a lot of computing power, the AI models to do the work for you. So the local solution is not yet on the horizon, but given the current speed of development of things, I think it is not as far as we may actually think. Now I am gonna probably do this, and we'll keep just my screen here for the ease of the process. We have 15 minutes, so we do not have a lot of room here to play with it a little, but if you need a more detailed technical demo, book a meeting with Anastasia, and then she will get you right to me, and we will go through your specific use case. And also, of course, our documentation that I have sent to the chat. It is updated every time we release a new feature. It talks in a great detail about the workflows and all the steps you need to take, and how to use different features, and really, guiding you through the process. So whenever you need the written version to support you, feel free to jump in here. And of course, starting from Monday, there will be many new full updates here. As I mentioned, this is the REST-based API, so I will not be dwelling on authentication a lot, also because our documentation sandbox that we will be using today to play around, just because it's easy, does not give you the way to generate token right here. But we did leave you instructions on how to do so in the Postman, and a real simple authentication Python script to get started. So the only things you would need to kick it off is your client ID and your client secret values, which you can easily get from your account settings once you are on the correct plan. My token, I have already pre-filled it right here, so that we don't have to stay on this part too long. Now, the first step, let's get back to the simple scenario where we just need to upload the media and get it done. Now, the first step would be, of course, to upload the media to our servers so that we can proceed working with it. Now, two options are here: upload by the file, which unfortunately, due to restrictions of the sandbox, we cannot test, but it is a working method. You can use Postman to test it out. And the variety of link sources, which we have discussed. So you have, I am going to try to do some of the things side by side with the platform, because this is the project I have named platform that is already here. Let's keep an eye on it. We're going to use it. And I am going to create one right now using the API So I know I told you that the process is automated and you are going to see that I'm doing a lot of things manually. This is because this is a test sandbox, of course. So everything I'm doing from here can be done just by running a code snippet. You can see appearing here. We have some examples in a different languages, and this is the main, the general structure of how your request needs to be. So you are not limited by the examples that we have here. So the little snippet here is enough to get the feature started, meaning you can embed it into your product. Now let's start by very easily uploading our video. We are going to use the YouTube link here. Let's see and make sure that we got the successful example. We now have our media ID, which we need not to lose. Let's get and check the status of the media because we need to make sure that it is properly uploaded. It is still in the progress currently. We need to make sure we got the status ready, and then the file is properly on our side, and we can proceed with the generation. Now, to retrace the same steps from the platform, this is what you will be doing on this first little step where you are selecting the file or the link to choose when create the project. In the API, this step is not even the project creation. We are just uploading the file so that you can go on and reuse this file in your several projects without having to re-upload it multiple times. Now we do confirm that the status is ready, and we can now move on to the project creation. As I mentioned, it is as easy as specifying the file you are translating and selecting the target language. I'm going to do Spanish here. And for our very first test project, I'm going to send it as is. Let's probably do the name like webinar one, so that we know it's the correct one. We've got our ID, we got the successful response, meaning the project was created. And if now I will refresh, this is the same account I'm using. And we did mention, now where did it go and which token did I get? Okay, let's try this one. The projects are now, compared to the API v1, are using the very same space, meaning that no matter from where you did create them, from the API or from, now where did it go? I'm now thinking I may have grabbed a different token from a different account. I'll be correct on the okay, let me do the little witchery here. And do the magic. This should be our project. It is a very, very interesting occurrence here. Which we probably investigate in one bit, and you'll have ourselves a different side-by-side comparison.
We have one question in the chat.
let's do that while we are waiting on this project to get dubbed, and then I will find out where it went and show you how it looks in the platform. Now, I think we have a lot of questions here in the chat. We really need to start doing the sessions more. If by any chance we would not be able to get to all of your questions today, please use our email. You can see in our documentation, API@Rask AI. Shoot me an email and I will follow up on it after we are done. Now, Eva is also asking if the dubbing solution support language differences, like different dialect. Yes, it does. And when selecting a destination language for your project, you will see that there are different options in here. Now, source language, you would go and specify by simply sending a language code, but destination language, since we support multiple dialects, you would go in and send your dialect too. So you see there are lots of options for Spanish, lots of options for English, and for Portuguese, we do, of course, have the Brazil and Portuguese version. Now, let's jump back to our project. We currently got to another one of my accounts. That's the beauty of being the tech person and having multiple accounts. So I will be showing you kind of side-by-side things, but we will be using my demo account here to see how it should look in the platform, and we will be checking the same features via the API. Now, let's first check on the status of it. So it does exist somewhere. And we now see that status is merging done. And which means it went through the automatic transcription because I didn't specify any SRT files when inputting it. Automatic translation generated by solver, bringing everything together. So if you would access it, the same very project in the platform, you would see something like this with all your text and content being ready to continue working. Now, if it would be to go and get the transcription in here, we would see inside basically the same. This is slightly different video, but same structure being followed here for each segment, having its original target text, speaker, timestamps, and the status. Now, we are running low of time, and I really want to be punctual here. So we will cover this part verbally really fast. And again, if you need more, you have workflows here describing the steps in a very detailed way. And of course, my support. So here's our email if you need to check some technical questions with us. Now, all of the content you see here is editable. So you can add new segments or delete the extra ones that you don't need. And by patching segments, you can edit all of the information that we get to see now. So either original text, which we will retranslate for you as it goes, or you can edit the translation directly. The speaker assigned to it, you can add speakers by simply specifying the next speaker ID, edit the beginning or end of the segment, and once done, regenerate your project, regenerate VoiceOver, to apply the changes you made. This is the glossary feature right here as well, where you can use the API to create a glossary same as what we would do here. Let me show you how it normally looks in the platform. By selecting source and target language and entering a name here, and then would be have an option to specify different language pairs. Now I am getting really lucky today. I think with this web, maybe this way it will go better. Now I did have something in mind for this, and let's say I have the word English inside this project, and I don't want it to be translated to Italian as Inglese. So what I can do is I can specify the key and the value as is. So when I'm applying this, and I can create it, when I'm applying this dictionary to the projects that I'm translated from English to Spanish, this word will remain untranslated. You can always put more words into glossary, create multiple glossaries for your projects, and delete the ones you no longer need. I honestly could stay and go on and on about it for much more time, but we did promise you it's gonna be an hour. We value your time and your commitment to come and spend this time with us. So we will send you the recording. We are not going anywhere. We are also available for questions. Anastasia is available for meetings. We are available for demos and any kind of technical questions you can come up with.
And while you are thinking about some questions and we're waiting for Anastasia, I think it's great time to remind that you will receive the recording immediately after the webinar. I think give me please about 10 minutes and you will receive the video on your email. And I think next week we will release new updates and we will release some teasers for two materials. The first one is Team Space for the next big release in December, and we prepared some API guide for you just for free, and we will announce how to get it on X or Twitter as well, if you are as old as I. And Anastasia is here. Wow.
Yeah, I am.
Our cute layout making appearance one more time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, and yeah, Alex mentioned the guide. Please go ahead and download this. And thank you so much for all your questions. We also read the comments. Sorry if there were some slips in terms of the language. We appreciate your patience that sometimes we can make a mistake. And also there was a question that was probably misanswered by me. What voice you can use via API, either one or the other, either generated or natural voice. So you can use whatever you decide. This is not one, or I mean you cannot use both in one speaker, so you need to assign the voice to the speaker. Is it the voice that you will assign will be a voice clone or not? This is up to you to decide. It can be AI generated, it can be the voice clone that was actually in the video. And If you have more questions, and I believe you do, because we have a lot of questions within the chat, and I see that Olga is smiling, and probably you will have even more, and you would like to try to edit the videos yourself, either in the platform or via the API. We are very open for you to reach out, to ask it, to request a demo, API or platform or whatever. Maybe come up with some feature requests. That is also very important, because we would like to hear more feedback from you, and we would like to enhance our products every month. You saw already our timeline. It's very intense in terms of the features that we are adding, and we get the inspiration from you guys. We get this inspiration when you come to the calls and you mention what you actually lack and what will improve your experience and what was maybe not that ideal, how you expected, and we make it really cool. So don't hesitate to reach out to our team. You had today some prominent team members that I have, Olga and Alex. I really love them and thank them so much for the help. Olga, wonderful presentation. So probably we are closing our session for today. I just would like to remind you that this time, we not only invite you to have a demo with us, but we also have some pleasant bonuses in terms of $300 for those who do not have yet any business account or enterprise and would like to subscribe with us. So we will be happy to assist you with that and help you with the bonus and trials and so on.
And thank you once again, everyone, for I think this was the liveliest talk we had so far. We didn't even had enough time to do what we planned, and the questions that keep coming and coming, and I honestly can't make myself stop. So please, please, please send us the message, and you all have a wonderful day, and we would love to talk with you more. As Anastasia mentioned, the API is really a solution for our customers to use, and we understand that for you to rely on it and embed it in your product, it needs to have the features you need. So we are flexible, we deliver new features fast, and we would love to work with you.
Thank you so much, and see you next time.